So the painting we're going to do today, as you've seen by the reference photo, is a beautiful African sunset. And it has elephants in it and a beautiful tree. So this is going to be a really fun painting today. So all you need for this painting is your yellow and burnt sienna and red and black and white. Alright, so that's the colors that I've seen in the reference photo. And the brushes that I picked out for this painting that could be flat. That's my synthetic Filbert brush. I also have a flat brush, and that's synthetic. I have a bristle brush, and I have a liner brush. Now, I'm going to tell you why I picked these brushes. This one is going to be nice for putting on the basic colors. We'll work with the sky. Anything that you need long strokes and blending, these are nice for that. Bristles are pretty good too, but I find these are a bit nicer. And the flat brush is great also for sharp lines and for blending. And the liner brush I'm going to use for the tree. And the bristle I have here, I'm going to use that for the tree, for punching. Every time I use a bristle brush is for pouncing, punching, tapping, tap, tap, tap. Okay? So as you know, I like to work in stages. And as you can see, I put the painter's tape on a little under halfway so that I can have more of a sky than the foreground. So this painting is for Jade. She's my patron, and she asked me to help her paint or learn to paint this beautiful reference photo. The easiest way I think to start this painting is just put on the background first, which is an orangey color, okay? And then we'll put everything else on top of it, rather than trying to put on some orange and then some other color and some other color. It can get pretty complicated. So just take your red. If you have an orange color there in a bottle or tube, you go ahead and use that too if you want. So I'm not totally blending it, as you can see. I always like to leave my paints alone, and I'm going to start down here and work my way up. There's really no reason for it, just probably where it's nice and brightly red down here, and it gets a little lighter at the top. I'm probably lighten it up as we get to the top. You could do it either way. I'm going to paint the sides as I go along. It'll be a lot easier. Okay, I had to put my watch on because I wouldn't know the time. So, in case you're wondering why 1 second there was no watch and the next second there was. So we'll keep doing this. See how easy it is when you do it this way? You don't have to worry about anything else when you're just putting out that colors. So you don't have to worry about anything else when you're putting colors on. Right? And if possible, look, see how I got them separated? Look. If possible, try to, don't push too hard, and don't, let's see. If you go over the same color, you're probably going to end up with just a red. But if you have an orange in your tube, it's going to be just orange. So add some red to it or some yellow to separate the colors. See those colors coming out there? See how that's separating? So I'm going to leave that. Like, I don't want to spoil that. That's why I'm doing this, and get some nice beautiful reds and yellows all separated, all in one stroke. Okay, so try that. If it don't work out for you, then you can put your yellows and things on top anyway. I'm going to go lighter up here, which I'm probably going to add a little bit of white. So I got red and yellow and a bit of white, probably more yellow than red. Okay. So I like to experiment with my paintings. I haven't tried that before I did the painting. I'm doing it as I'm showing to you now. See how pretty that is though? See how the yellows are coming out? Just one stroke. And I'm just picking up some white, and more white now than red and yellow. And I'm putting that up here. See, I'm turning a little bit pink. Pinkish, orangey pink. It's nice, isn't it? Don't destroy that yellow I got there. Alright. Good. So it doesn't have to be totally evenly blended in this case. In some cases you don't have to. Alright, you just put it on, one stroke, and it's done. And you can do that that's a sky that you can use as just a painting and don't have to do anything else with it. If you can work with it still wet, that'd be great. If it's not still wet, I think we should be able to be okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a bit of, I'm going to get sort of like clouds, and I'm going to add some burnt sienna to my red and yellow. All right. So I'm just going to add some yellow and burnt sienna red, and I'm going to mix that one up just to see what the color is. That's a pretty color. That's nice. A little more burnt sienna. Just trying to get some contrast here with the darker shadowy clouds up here somewhere. See, and just scoop them on there. Try not to lose your yellows and stuff like that. All right, see, it's a little darker. A little more burnt sienna. Because you can't see it. I got to darken it up so you can see it. The paint is still wet, so you're probably mixed in with the paint. So if it dries, if your paint dries, your first layer of paint, you should be good to go. Because I'm blending it in with the first layer of paint, it's harder to get it a little darker. But we will try. So we can take this dark, shadowy cloud up to about here. Just going by the reference photo, I'm not. It's kind of nice. Okay. If I need to darken it later, I will. I'm not going to worry about it right now. I'm just going to smooth it out on the edges here. And I'm going to add a few more little clouds here and there. I'm probably going to put them above those yellow streaks. If you didn't get yellow streaks like this, you can put them in after. Alright, some burnt sienna, a little bit of red and yellow. The darker the better. And we'll leave those yellows peeping out, okay? So, put a little bit of darkness down here. And I'm just going to blend that in with the sky. Don't get any more paint, just blend in the edge there. This might take a little practice. If the paint dried on you and your underpainting was dry, then you may not be able to blend that nice edge like that. So what you'll have to do is wet the underpainting again with some paint and then put the brown over it, and then it'll blend nicely. But if it's possible, I mean, I know you have to, sometimes the phone might ring and you might have to go and leave it and it dries on you. So just repaint the area that you're trying to blend. Just put a little more red on. Say that dried on me. So I'll pick up my red and orange and I'll put it on here. So that blends. So that blends, and then you get your burnt umber. And that will blend there, see? And then now 2 of them are wet. So now you can clean off your brush. There's not too much paint on, just off your tissue. And then blend those 2 lines together so it looks like they're both coming together, see? So that's what I want to do. I want to blend these lines so they don't look like just straight lines or just something sitting there. I want it to blend in with the rest of the sky. So yeah, I don't want those to be just sticking out like a sore thumb, okay? I want them to sort of blend in with the sky, but yet they're shadows, right? Okay, see? So that if you go over them, they will blend in with it. Like I said, if it dries up on you, just add a little bit red and orange underneath it, and then 2 of them should blend together. There's a lot of little tips and tricks, you know what I mean? Like there's things that you can do. You just need to know what to do and how to do it. And that's why I try to tell you as many things as I can to help you out, because I know it's frustrating. It's not easy. It might look easy, but you do for years. You pick up a few tips and tricks yourself. Like I try to make up my own, right? so I can help you. Now, I'm going to mist that because it's drying a little bit. I want to keep it a bit wet so I can blend those again. I'm looking at them and I'm saying to myself, should I blend them a little more? See, so you can keep going over till you're happy with it. This is what I mean when you're doing paintings. Do it until you're happy. Those little areas, see? Just try to get it so it's not standing out like a sore thumb. You want everything to blend nicely. I think that's better. That's much better. I want it to be soft. Soft and pretty. This up here maybe. Soft and pretty. There we go. Not a hard edge. I don't like those hard edges, right? Alright. So we're going to put on a nice little bit of sun right here. So I'm going to take a bit of white, and I want a little bit of yellow in there. I want it bright, a nice bright white yellow. So I'm going to move that over here because I got too much yellow in there. I just moved it over. So we need to make a little round. Alright, that's the little brush that I told you I was using. And we just need to make a little round bit of sun right here. Alright. You can also use your finger. So white and yellow on your finger, because your finger is round, so you should be able to get a nice little round. There we go. If you want more on there, just wait till it dries and put some more on if you want. So I'm looking around at my sky and I'm thinking maybe I will put the white and yellow on my little tiny brush. And I might put a few little, for a little bit of contrast, just a little bit of light coming off some of the clouds. Some white and yellow. I don't want it too white. More on the yellow side if you can get it. Just pick some places that you think it looks like it might be a cloud. Or look at your reference photo. Just kind of spread it out so it fills in with that with the cloud a bit. See? Because you don't want it just to be a straight line. You want to kind of make it like a little fluffy cloud there underneath it. It's shining. Sun is shining underneath and making it bright. It's a nice color there. Good. A little more yellow to that there. Alright. So, it's kind of nice. It's got some nice yellows that we already recreated when we were just doing the one-stroke sky. So I'm going to take off this tape. There we go. And we're going to work at the bottom. Here's the reference photo that I turned into black and white so I could print it off. And what I did was I cropped the reference photo so that I could get the elephants a little bigger because my canvas is bigger at 8.5 by 11. So I had to adjust the elephants so that they would look nice on the canvas. And if I had to leave them at 8.5 by 11, the full reference photo, they would have been much smaller and it wouldn't have had as much impact. So whenever you want to make things that you are putting on your canvas a little bigger, because your canvas is bigger, just crop it in closer to the subject that you're trying to transfer. We're going to have to transfer that. It would take me a while to draw it out freehand, so I'm just going to transfer it. I'll give you a pattern also, so you can transfer it to your canvas. And what I might do is I might just give you this. That way I already have it cropped for you and all, so you won't even have to crop it. Unless your canvas is 16 by 20, you'll have to crop it even closer, okay? Now the bottom here is darker than the sky, so we're going to do that. And on the bottom, there's a piece of land that the elephants sit on. So when I get down here, that'll be black, okay? So right now we just want, basically what we did in the sky, we just want to have our red and our yellow, okay? No need to mix it, and a bit of burnt sienna. And let's see what happens there. And I'm just going to put that down here. We want it a little bit darker, so the burnt sienna will darken it. A little more yellow. It's almost like a one-stroke painting, isn't it? And you can see the yellows are coming through, so we get those, leave them. Okay, so just be careful going underneath that line there, if you can. If you can't, well, we'll deal with it. We will work with it. See, I'm just picking up the yellow and red separately, and a bit of burnt sienna. Just trying to be careful under here. Good. Now let's keep it up. So I just picked up the 3 colors again. You can see that the burnt sienna, more burnt sienna you put in on your brush is going to, look at that nice yellow there, I'm going to leave that. And now we're getting down to the black part, so we'll leave that there. That's really nice. I just add a little bit of matte medium just to help the paint move. Okay, so matte medium you can use if you want to. It helps make the paint move, and it makes it stay wet a little bit longer. Not a big lot, but enough to help make your paints a little smoother to move. I don't use it a lot. I don't use a big lot of it because it also makes your paint transparent, and but water does too. So if you need to make your paint move, you can either mist your canvas, use matte medium, or both. Okay. See, I still see the canvas is coming through here, so I'm just trying to keep my yellow, but get rid of that bright. See, it almost makes a reflection from the sky. So this is the matte medium. Yeah, so that's what it does. When you're doing bigger areas, it helps it move. It's more smooth to move. Sometimes I use my magic white, but in some cases I don't use it. I didn't use magic white in this case because I wanted to dry a little faster. So if you want it to dry faster, don't use the magic white, because that takes almost an hour to dry. You can use your hair dryer to dry it, but It's wonderful. Now this is going to be land. It's wonderful for blending techniques. I have videos on that. So I'm going to use this as land. Give it a few humps and bumps. Whatever way you want it, doesn't matter. It's your painting. You can make your humps and bumps whatever way you want them. Okay? See, the matte medium, it don't change the color of your paint. It just makes it more transparent. But look, it's so much easier to smooth out. I have my Amazon page, and I have all these materials and paintbrushes, paints on my Amazon page. I have a shop, I should say, a shop where I get a little commission if you buy through my shop. So it all helps, you know. It's a little commission. It's not a somewhere where you're going to make a ton of money. I guess some people do. Alright, so that's a little bits of land, because we got a big old tree to go there yet. Alright, so that's where the elephants are going to be. Alright, so you can have it whatever way you want. So you can fix it up even after you do it. If you look at it and you say, oh, I like to have it a little higher, lower, whatever. Do whatever you want. Do the side of your canvas if you want. Alright, now so next we will put on our elephants. And you can either put the elephants on first or the tree. So what I did was I printed off my reference photo and I cropped it down and I just made the elephants a little bigger, because it depends on the size of your canvas and how big you want your elephants. So, and then I just took some carbon paper and I put it under here and used the pen to trace out the elephants. I didn't do anything with the tree. I think we should be able to do that freehand. And as you can see, if you can see that, if it's not clear enough, you can use chalk on the back of your paper, and that will work also on a pen. So we'll take this off, and as you can see, the elephant's feet, haven't touched the ground that you made, okay? I could have came down a little further, or what I can do is paint this black down here to come up and meet their feet. I just make the bottom a little bigger. So you can have that down here a little smaller or bigger, and then when you put your elephants on, then you can bring it up to meet their feet, bring the black up. So that's what we can do now. We can take this land here. This one here is pretty good. The feet are about here, so we can take this land and bring it up a little bit. And this one here needs to come up even more, so it could be a big hump here. And that will match up with their feet walking on the land. Now, so like I say, you can have it whatever way you want. I'm just going to redo that, just so everything will match. I'll just fill in the rest. There we go. Even though it's already painted black, do it again, because if you're adding more black to it, it may go darker, then it won't match as good. Alright. Now we're going to need a very small brush to do those elephants. A small, flat, chiseled edge brush. Don't forget to do your sides. Sides look nice when they're done. Gives it a wraparound look, see? You can do the bottom also if you want to. Just go around the sides, because that's a stretch canvas. If you have a flat canvas, you won't need to do that. So let's get a small flat brush. So I'm just going to use a small flat brush and make sure it's chiseled edge so you can get around those lines. Just pure black is good, because it is a silhouette. We'll put on our elephants. Try the baby elephant. Tree. And we can see the tree is pretty close to this small elephant, and we want the tree to go around the moon here. So first of all, let's go with a flat brush, flat chiseled edge, and use it the vertical. And let's see, get it pretty close here. We can come down, push in a little bit, and then come up and then lift off. So you just need the bottom a little thick. And then as we get those branches, they got to be, according to this picture here, thinner. And there's another one coming out this way. So you can use a marker if it's easier for you to draw out those black marker. And then you can tap on black paint on the top of those branches. So let's see, I'm just going to use my chisel edge. I'm going to bring this over here. And I'm going to lift up so I don't get too big of a, see? So I just lifted up so I wouldn't be too thick. Then I'm going to keep using my chisel edge till I can't use it anymore. So once I start getting into the really thin lines, we need to change brushes. I'm just trying to figure out where these. There's one coming off here. Just use the chiseled edge. And a little thicker than that. Let's push in a little bit. If that's too hard, like I say, because you might need to practice first to see how your brush works, if it's working good for you. Let's get another one up here. And this here is going to be where the tree is going to go around. I'm just going to make get an idea where I'm going to put the tree like that, okay? Just so I can have some idea. And I'm going to switch to my liner brush. You can get a long liner brush or you can use a small one, as long as it's small, round. And then try to get those branches on. You could have traced it out if you wanted to, if that was easier. So we'll wet the brush so that it'll move. And we will try and find all these little branches. So we will give, and we'll probably, if we don't get all our branches on, we can always go back and put more in after you put your tree on. brush, because the longer the liner brush, the easier it is. Would you believe? I'm also going to start putting on the tree. Because the bristles will open for you if you push them in your hand. So you want them opened a little bit. And we will be leaving a few little openings here, but let's just get the tree on. So just right into black. This is the easiest part about these silhouettes. You don't have to worry about all kinds of colors and mixing and matching. So tap it on to give it some texture. That's nice. So that's our African sunset that I did for Jade, my patron, on my Patreon page. And so I'm just going to do a few last minute touch-ups. As you can see, we need more yellow in there. Maybe a little glow around it. Some more yellows up here, and maybe a few little clouds. Just little things. Like I said, don't change anything. Just add to it. Just go over your highlights. So back to your small liner brush, or whatever liner brush you have there. So let's pick up some yellow and a bit of white. And just make your yellow nice and bright, okay? But it has to be really bright. So if you want to, you can go into white, add a bit of yellow, more white than yellow, okay? And we will tap down here. Now that that's dry, it'll be easier to get it on there. Keep it round if you can. Good. We'll get some more yellow and a bit of white. And we'll highlight some of these little clouds, just the edges of them, just a little tiny. Just to bring them out a little bit more, that's all. So yellow, white. This is some bright here. You can even add a little bit more here. We don't want to do too much changes, okay, just highlights. Okay, good. And where else can we brighten it up? Well, the light is coming from here, so alright, so I'm going to try my chiseled edge brush. I think that may spread it more. So I like to try and experiment with my brushes, as I always tell you, because it's fun and it gives you an idea what your brushes can do. So I'm going to try this now. It's a very tip chiseled edge. There we go, that's a bit easier. Get some of that light wherever you want it. Okay, and maybe a little bit up here. Wherever you want it, okay? I'm just putting it in certain places just to show you where it can go. I'm just putting a little bit of light up here. Just do it if you like it. If you don't like what I'm doing, you don't have to do it. Get your basics done first that we went through, and then you can add your own touches, okay? Just adding a bit of white over the yellow that I just did. Like I said, don't add anything too new, because you could say, oh, I don't like that, and then you got your whole painting. Then you got your whole painting have to be readjusted. So I just want to say thank you very much, Jade, my patron, for sending me the reference photo from Pixabay, and she wanted an African sunset, and so I think that's very pretty, and I think anyway, that's it. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Signing out from Allison Pryor. Bye.